I'm Caroline.
And I'm Molly.
And this week's show is...
Special!
Jack couldn't come tonight because he had to go to his brother's confirmation, so we just kind of improvised, and we're doing a super spectacular all-graphic novel review show. I'm going to be talking about Harvey Pekar's Cleveland.
I'm going to be talking about the Dark Crystal creation myths.
Jonik's going over some Sonic comics.
And Josh is going to talk about Battle Pope.
Alright, let's get to it.
Alright, because Jack couldn't be with us today, as we mentioned earlier, because he's off at his brother's confirmation, I thought that would be an excellent time to read Battle Pope by Robert Kirkman and Tony Moore. Now, this is my first experience with the book, and I will say the art's really kind of amazing and cartoony kind of right off the bat, which is definitely like my style of art and what I really enjoy. So if you kind of like that kind of cel-shaded, very computery look, you're definitely going to dig the artwork in this. And the story actually centers around Jesus is a little bit out of shape because people are kind of forgetting what the spirit of Christmas is all about. Not really celebrating his birthday, but actually just kind of celebrating, materialistic things and, stuff that people get caught up in during the holidays, I guess. And the other part of the story is kind of all about the Pope kind of getting his groove back, and I don't want to really spoil how he does that, but it's horrific, really, in what he goes, the lengths that he'll go to kind of make sure he's in tip-top shape, I guess. But it's definitely a really fun read, really hilarious, and as long as you don't take it too seriously, you probably won't be offended by it. So yeah, check this out.
This week I'm going to talk about Harvey Pekar's Cleveland, written obviously by Harvey Pekar, with art by Joseph Remnant. American Splendor and all of Harvey Pekar's works have always been really important to me, partially because they're autobiographical and take place in Ohio, where I've lived all my life, and also because my dad introduced me to Harvey Pekar when I was a lot younger. My dad passed away a few years ago, and he was always a really avid record collector, which I kind of think that's where I get my comics collecting bug from. But when my mom and I organized all of his records to sell to used kids records on High Street, we found a couple of original American Splendor issues, one of which was signed by Harvey Pekar, and I had no idea my dad even had that, and so this work really means a lot to me. It's sort of a short history of Cleveland intertwined with a biography of Harvey Pekar. So we go from the founding of Cleveland, the digging of the St. Lawrence Waterway, the fire on the Ohio River, as well as all of Harvey's various relationships, divorces, friendships, local Cleveland landmarks. We get to see a couple of famous Ohio politicians rendered in cartoon form, Dennis Kucinich, John Boehner, so if you ever wanted to see that, now's your chance. I really think that this was published posthumously because Harvey died a couple of years ago, and I really feel that this was a really strong finishing work for him. There's an introduction by Alan Moore, and if you've never read any American Splendor before, this is a really good place to start, and I highly recommend it.
Hey gang, it's a great week to be a comic book fan because 2 Sonic trades came out. The 5th installment of the Sonic Select series and the 3rd issue of Sonic Super Special. Now both of these are mainly reprint series, but if you haven't been into the series before, I would suggest you get into it because it's getting good. This one here, the Sonic Super Special, has a brand new story in it, taking place during the timeline of the Sonic episode 4, and that's a pretty good story. It's like half a story. It's kind of a prequel to the game, so if you're looking forward to that, go and jump in. Also, what I'm really excited for is if you really want to jump into the series, one of the best issues, one of my favorite issues is contained in this. Issue 25, the adaptation of Sonic CD. It's got some of the best art by Spaz, and it's this great romp where it's like, oh, I'm gonna, kick Robotnik, and there's this whole mission, and we really get to see this classic characterization of Robotnik, where, he's this creepy villain, but there's this humorous, comical side, and it's got some of that really, it's got some cheesy moments, but it's not the worst. It's just this cheesiness that, you take and you smile, because it's good. And then also there's this, the art is just, there's so much depth in it, and it's so beautiful and elegant. There are also other stories in here very good. This one is the Sonic Kids special, which I remember reading when it came out, and I was psyched. It was like Rugrats meets Sonic, and the issues that are contained in here were some of my favorite. Both of these are very excellent for kids, and particularly this one. This one is good for adults too. I mean, it's Sonic the Hedgehog comics are not just for kids. I mean, I've been reading it since I was like 4 years old, and I still enjoy it. So pick one up today. It's a good read.
Okay, so this week I have The Dark Crystal Creation Myths Volume 1. And I got excited when I saw it in the new book section at the library because of the free comic book day tie-in that I saw Jim Henson Studios was releasing a new Labyrinth comic, and I decided to check out some more Jim Henson comics. The nice thing about Dark Crystal Creation Myths is it explores the universe of the Dark Crystal before the movie happened. And if you're a fan of the Dark Crystal like I am, then you're pretty familiar with Aughra, the old lady who had the eyeball that she could take out and like move around and all of that. And so this book really focuses on her, and how she lost her eye is one of the stories that is in the book. Apparently she had a son, and they tell a lot of his story. There's the story of how Gelfling girls got their wings. So all of that history, it feels like it belongs in that world. Sometimes when they do a movie tie-in, it doesn't quite capture the feel of the movie that it was supposed to represent, and I think that this book did a really good job. So I would highly recommend it.
We've got something special for you.
Are you talking about the Sonic?
Okay.
We got another copy of. We got a copy.